Hello and welcome to this week's special presentation titled Emulating the Best of the Best. My name is Steve Chappell, the Director of Trading Systems Development here at VectorVest, and I'm delighted to bring you this week's presentation. Let's get right into it. When I wanted to learn how to be the best central defender in soccer I could possibly be, I figured I ought to study the best there ever was. I was fortunate as a kid to go to a New York Cosmos game, and I was thrown back by watching the play of this gentleman you see on the screen here. I would later learn that his name is Franz Beckenbauer, or the Emperor as he was known in some circles. He's still considered the best central defender to ever play the game to this day. Some say responsible for the creation of an entirely new tactical position on the pitch called the sweeper. He was known for his grace and effortless play, even under the most dire of circumstances in the game. And he's one of only two players to ever both win a World Cup on the pitch and on the sideline as a coach. And I can assure you that the time that I spent studying him and his techniques, even such things as the Beckenbauer turn, he's got a move named after him on the pitch that would throw opposing players to the side. Studying the way he played and the way he led helped me become the best central defender I could possibly be. What you might be thinking now is, how does this relate to VectorVest? Well, it certainly does. If you want to make money in the stock market, you ought to look for and study techniques or trading plans that are working and emulate them. We have a wealth of them right inside VectorVest already there for you. Did you know, for example, in the VectorVest views, we've been providing a link to the top 25 contest portfolios that we've ever had in the VectorVest view, right in the VectorVest views. Because if you did, and you're not going there and using it to your advantage, that would be a mistake, both for future competitions and even better as a possible viable solution for actual trading right now. So let's go take a look. First stop, and I think one of the most important stops in this whole presentation, as it typically is going to be right in our investment newsletter, the views. So I'm going to go right to the top, click on the views tab, and I'm going to take us back in history here a bit. And that's one of the strengths of the views, is being able to go back and see what were the rules for that user group competition that's going on. What were some of the key things that Dr. DeLito has shared with us to help get us started, and so on, etc. And the list keeps going on. But let's stay focused on just the user group competition and this top 25 contest portfolios for the moment. So I'm going to go back to March the 23rd as my first reference point. And so when I go there, here it is. Attention user group leaders. The info on the top 25 competitions portfolios results page just got better. To access this page, click the link provided in the strategy section below. So now it's live. But it gets better. It says here, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. So I love to look at the equity curves. They now show the complete performance history of the portfolio. Just click on the chart icon showing the 3 bars, and you will be presented with a wealth of information. Ideally, you should be looking for a smoothly rising curve going from lower left-hand corner to upper right-hand corner. The third best performer at the time was BK 2017, and it reflects a good representation of the kind of performance he just detailed. Now let me skip us forward in time here just a bit into the month of April, and we'll go to the 20th. If I scroll down here just a bit, please remember that you may emulate but not copy a successful trading system such as those shown in the top 25 competition portfolios results page. To access the page, go ahead and click here. And so when I do, guys, I want to stress the importance of taking part in these activities. When we come here, and I now see that, hey, look, the one that he favored a month ago has now worked its way towards the top of the list. Now, of course, we're in May, but it really did start outperforming very shortly thereafter. And when I see that, and it says, well, geez, maybe I ought to learn from the best. Maybe I ought to take a page out of Dr. DeLito's book and see what we're dealing with here. And so when I come over here to the right and I click on the 3 bars as he indicated, look at that equity curve. I mean, it just makes your mouth water, doesn't it? Look how well it even coped with all the turbulence and turmoil and volatility that's really hit the markets since late January up until, well, even just days ago, right? And so, in the spirit of what we've been talking about here, doesn't it make sense that if you're going to learn a craft like how to play golf, it's wise to emulate Tiger Woods or Jack Nicklaus? If you want to learn how to play basketball, think about Michael Jordan, LeBron James. If you want to figure out how to make money in the stock market, look at what's working. Study it, emulate it, see if you can make it better. And so let me show you how to do just that. Let's move back over into VectorVest. But real quickly before I do, actually, out to the right, the 3rd button will even detail the trading system for you. And so the reason I bring this up is I'm going to be working from this page and setting up the genius within VectorVest. We're going to do some back testing first, and then when we decide that we like what we see, we can then implement it and paper trade it. We can even emulate it in backtester, see if we can make it better and paper trade that. And so, but I'll be working from the settings that you see here. Very straightforward and very smart and intuitive trading system created by one of our employees here at VectorVest, Billy Kiernan. She works kind of behind the scenes, guys, and does a lot of the software testing and really does a super job. Anyway, very smart system. We're going to use the confirm calls. We're going to buy long in confirmed ups, sell short in confirmed downs. We're going to use Russell 2K winners in confirmed ups and Vern's vultures in confirmed downs. We're going to be using 10% trailing stops, and on the long side, she decided to set a target, 50%. That keeps us from getting a little too greedy, right? Come down here to the bottom, we're going to be maintaining 5 stock baskets. At times we can have a mix of both long and short positions, and you'll see that here in a bit. We're going to automatically replace closed positions on both sides. When entering the confirmed up, we're going to close any position that was opened in the down. We're going to close those short positions and get them out because the market really still has a bullish bias, right? Earnings are still strong. So very cleverly done. If we come over here to the right, when entering this situation, don't close them because of that bullish bias. Let those long positions continue to cook unless they hit that 10% trailing stop. So one of the only main differences between confirmed ups and confirmed downs is how to handle the positions that were opened in the opposing situation. Okay, so that's an important one to pay attention to when setting this up for yourself. Then pretty straightforward. Odd lots, don't repurchase for 31 days on both sides. Don't purchase if it violates stop criteria, and then the 2% maximum average volume. Okay, on both sides of the fence though. So I'm going to pull this off to the right, and I'm going to be using that to help walk you through the rest of the presentation. So if you wish, if you have 2 monitors, you can put it on another monitor, or if you don't have the luxury of the 2 monitors, you just print it out. You can print it right from Internet Explorer and put it on your desk and follow what we do here. So what I'm going to do is go to Backtester. It's always best to backtest a trading system you have in mind just to make sure you still get a similar result, and then begin to paper trade it or trade it with real dollars afterwards. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm in Backtester. What I'm going to do next is click New here at the top. This will allow me to design the backtest. So I'm going to do BK 2017. And I'm even going to call this baseline because this is as it was written. Okay, now remember, for the competition, you can't use it as it was written. We're going to modify this later, but it's good to get the baseline result for a frame of reference. Next, what we're going to do, come right down here, we're going to build the custom trading system. Remember, we're using confirm call, so we'll leave it set there. Important to note, you do need auto timer in order to be able to use timing signals within both the backtester that we're in now and the Genius and so forth as we continue to go forward. So that is something to be aware of. Now, when I come down to automation rules confirmed up, I will come over here to the right. We're going to buy along. Remember, we're going to use CC Russell 2000. So CC Russell 2K winners, more specifically. If I then come to stop criteria, we're going to use trailing stop, 10%, but with a 50% target. So we'll just type her in. We'll go over to more settings. We're going to do 5 stocks. The important setting here is going to be close any position that was opened in a different situation. Next, what we'll do is just slide down, make sure that we limit repurchases to 31 days after sale. Slide down a bit further and drop this to 2%. Make it a little bit more real world. Then we'll come over here to the left, go to automation rules. What do we want to do when a confirm down is issued? And so probably a good idea to stop buying stocks, right? We're going to sell short when the opportunity arises, right? Then we're going to use CC Vern's Vultures, and not the 5 days down, just plain old Vern's Vultures, the more aggressive one. We're going to go to stop criteria, trailing stop, leave it right at 10. Go to more settings, 5 stocks, slide down here and 31 days. And I almost forgot the most important setting. So if we come back, we are going to not close. Don't close any open position. Remember, we have sort of bullish bias on the market, and that was one of the clever things really about this trading system. So we'll slide down here a bit further, and I'm going to take this down to 2. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just finish it up. Now we pick the test period. I'm just going to go back to when it was actually created. And so we're going to go back into March of 2017. And I want to say this was created right on the 22nd. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it loose from the 22nd of March. Just happens to be the day she was launched. And then we'll see how she does. Hey, we're off to a pretty good start. We can blow it up, take a better look at the equity curve here. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I love what I see here. Terrific performance, pretty steady, no real heartburn on a day-to-day basis anyway. And that's really a key element. Remember, favor smooth rising curves from lower left to upper right. And so let me minimize this, and let's just check some of the numbers real quick. And so we're using the confirm call. Again, 94% since March of 2017. Russell 2000 really has been one of the better performers. A great strategy for the last year. If we look at the annualized rate of return, we're coming in at clocking at 83. And the drawdown of under 10%. So your compounded rate of return divided by your max drawdown, I mean, we're talking an 8 here almost. That is knocking the cover off the ball. Money managers kill for a 2. So, 8 to 1 is really strong, particularly over more than a year's worth of a test. And now, so it's going to be tough. We got our work cut out for us in order to make it better. Fortunately for you guys, I spent a little time and did a few things. What I'm going to do is just show you the spirit of what we want you to consider doing. And believe me, I didn't spend that much time. So there is more than likely an even better solution out there, and hopefully you can find one. But the idea here is much like an experiment. You want to keep most of the variables constant, all but one of them. and only vary a single thing at a time so you know what's helping and what's not. So what I'm going to do is just work with stops. You know, there's number of positions, there's industry group diversification, there's so many more variables that you can mess with. But we'll just do stops, the low-hanging fruit. So I'm going to right click and copy this guy. And when I do that, we can call this emulate. All right. And once we got it locked in there, we'll go over the same time frame and we'll compare it to the baseline, right? So what I'm going to do is click now Customize Trading System. I'm going to come just to the long positions and I'm going to modify a variable. Okay, so I'm going to go to the stop criteria. I'm going to move this to 15. Oops, let's go with the big numbers first. All right, and then I'm going to move this target to 30. And that's all I'm going to do. Click Finish. Finish and run. And we'll see how it stacks up. Hey, how about that? A squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. So 108%, right? Annualized rate of return nearing 100, compounded rate of return north of 90, and drawdown actually went down a tick. So running more like a 10 almost in terms of Kalmar ratio now. And so this is what we want you guys to do. Take proven trading systems. We've got all the model portfolios. We've got 25 trading systems on the competition list. Clearly there are some that are well outperforming others. I mean, this BK 2017 is by far and away one of the best trading systems in that list. And she's got another one in there too called For the Win, and you'll see it's very similar, right? So this is a great baseline to work from, quite honestly. Now the thing that we can do with this, now that we're satisfied, and maybe we would just want to kind of paper trade both of them for a while and see which one starts to click better when we start or launch a campaign now. One of the things we can do is go right up to the Portfolios tab and allow Genius to trade this for us in real time and get a feel for them. If not, consider trading them, right? So I'm going to click New. We'll call it BK 2017, and we'll call this baseline. We'll just use the general default settings here. Okay, I'm not going to try to get everything perfect. Next thing we're going to do is put in the system. So I'm going to come right up here to the top right and click Edit. Now one of the cool things is, since we took the time to do the back test, you know, I could come in here and build the custom trading system again, but since it's already built, even in a back test, I can select an existing trading system. I can go to My Trading Systems. I can then find BK baseline. There it is right there. Select it. Yes, I want to turn the Genius on. Save it, and away she goes. Now the interesting thing here, of course, is we are still in a confirmed down situation, and so you have to take that into account when analyzing this. So all of this to say, the market is really, I think the Dow has now made 7 straight up days, the VVC 6 potentially if we close strong. So now would not be the time to launch a short campaign. So we're doing this for benefit of showing you the process. Now I would say this, it's not going to be a bad idea at all to get this set up the night of the confirmed up call to fire the next morning when that occurs, and that may not be all that far away. So this is the process that you want to go through, and then you could either trade it because it's going to send you the alerts. If you plug in your email address or even the phone carrier that you have to your phone line, that kind of thing, it'll send the alert right to you, tell you what stocks to consider buying and even at what prices, how many shares in the whole bit. Really good stuff. If we then do it again, we can do the second one, the emulation, to see if it's going to do any better, right? So we just type it in, BK 2017, emulate, right? We'll say OK there. We'll come to the top right, edit, select an existing trading system, my trading systems. I'll scroll all the way to the bottom because that's where they are, and pick emulate. And so again, that's the process, guys. I realize that now is not the perfect day to launch it since we're on the upswing and the timer is still on the short side. I just wanted to make sure you understand the processes here. Most important for terms of the competition is working in that backtester and emulating the current systems and trying to make them better. Then you know when the appropriate time to launch them is, right? So from here, guys, something else to also strongly consider is RoboTrader. I mean, because you can link with one of our broker partners, either Interactive Brokers or Ally. You can link the brokerage account right to VectorVest, and it'll even send the trades across for you once you click accept. We're still working on the one where it's just going to do everything for you, but it'll send the order straight across, and you can have up to 5 trading systems dialed into your brokerage account. And so here's just a quick example. You could have Model Portfolio 3 and Star Search, and now even add in BK 2017, and it'll actually do the trading as you wish it done, provided you simply click accept. And so setting one up is also very easy in here. You just add a new one. We call it BK 2017. Specify the dollar allocation you want for this trading system. And this might be one of the lower portions of your spending capital on something that's a little bit more relatively unproven for you, right? So then what we'll do is select the trading system, my trading systems, and right back to the bottom. And here it is, baseline emulate. Select it, save it. It'll bring up the action items, and you'll conduct the trades from here. All I've got to do is select them all, and at the bottom click place orders, and it'll send them across. Unless you're on the paper account, this is the Interactive Brokers paper side where you can even paper trade right through the brokerage if it makes you feel better that way. And so when you do it this way, there is going to be a screen that will populate. You'll preview orders. We've got a long position of I somewhere else, so it's not going to let us do it. But you get the idea. So I could simply take I off the list. So we're even looking out for you to make sure you don't do something. And that's one of the advantages, right? Because with all these different systems, some you're going to be controlling a certain amount of shares of Apple, and another one might be a different amount of shares of Apple. This keeps you from the instance of paying double commission, being long and short an equity at the same time. So all the wisdom of being able to do that for you as well. It really is a tremendous tool, and I really wish more people would get involved with RoboTrader because it's really going to straighten a lot of things out for many of you. All right, so I'm just simply going to close all this out. It's going to send those orders across. You can see they're being sent to broker, all except for the one that we canceled. And then at any time in the future, once one of these stocks needs to be dealt with, you're going to get the alert down here in the bottom left corner. It'll come across. You'll have an action item here right inside the RoboTrader tab. You'd select it and then actually place that order. It's as simple as that. Couldn't get any easier. Well, until we fully automate everything. So, but that's still under development and still not ready for market at this point. So hopefully coming very soon. We'll see. All right, guys. So I want to wrap this up, but this is the best way to to get it done. This is the best way to see strong performance for yourself, both in the competition and in real investing dollars, is to get in here and use what's been provided to you. Look at the model portfolios. Favor the one that you feel is the best. Model portfolio 3 got hit like a lot of portfolios did here in this current volatility, but was a very strong performer and likely will be again once this market really gets cooking. Looks like that might be soon, hopefully. And so you can take these things and you can put them in and put them to work for you. Thanks for tuning in this week, guys, for emulating the best of the best, and we'll see you right back here next week for your special presentation right here at VectorVest University. See you then.